Hello and welcome. This is Beverly Fells Jones, the Silver Fox of Consciousness, and today I decided that I wanted an egg McMuffin. But it was already 11:30 and I decided I didn't really want to wait till the next day, and I didn't want to go to the store and buy English muffins because I don't know how long they've been on the shelf. I'm not sure what else is in them, so I decided to make my own English muffins so I could make myself bacon, egg, and cheese McMuffin. So right now, pulled out and went online and looked at it. I've made English muffins before, but I didn't have the recipe written down. So I'm just making a regular English muffin. I was going to add some sourdough starter to it to give it a little sourdough taste, but I decided, nope, not today. I'm just going to make a regular English muffin. So what's in the bowl is 2.5 cups of flour. Remember, I'm not making this for a huge family. I kind of like this one. So it's 2.5 cups of flour, and in here I put 1 teaspoon of rapid rise yeast into the flour. It also calls, it says a 1/2 ounce of sugar. Well, I measured a 1/2 ounce. It's really about 1 tablespoon of sugar. Now, it calls for butter, but you can use oil. I could use olive oil. You can use sunflower oil. I try to stay away from the sunflower and the corn oil and all of that. So today I'm using grapeseed oil. So you can use any oil you want, and you can use butter. And you need 1/2 ounce of that, and which equates to about a tablespoon. So what I'm going to do right now, and it calls for an egg. So I'm going to take my egg and I'm going to crack it into my milk. Hello, come on, the rest of you, come on out. All right. And I'm going to mix the egg. I think that I should have used the large one. Oh, the milk. It calls for 190 milliliters of milk, which equates to about 3/4 of a cup of milk plus a tablespoon or 2. I've got a 200 milliliter mark on there, and I put it to just below that. And it wouldn't hurt if it was a little bit wetter. Okay. I'm going to add, so if you're going to do softened butter or your oil, I'm doing the oil. And the salt. The salt is 3/4 of a teaspoon. I'm going to mix it into this liquid. And my nice measuring cups, get all the oil out of here. Okay. Boy, that egg just doesn't want to mix. Let me pour a little bit of this out. Maybe I can get the egg mixed a whole lot better. Alright, very good. So, flour, 1 teaspoon of yeast, 3/4 a teaspoon of salt, 1/2 ounce of sugar, which is about a tablespoon, 1/2 ounce of butter or oiled, 1 large egg, and milk. And now I'm going to mix this up. If you decide you want to make English muffins and you want to have them for the next day, I recommend you make it the day before, or if you know you want to have them for dinner, you do them early in the morning. And it's a little sticky, and I'm going to cover this up, and I'm going to let it sit for 45 minutes. So I'm just going to take the plate, cover it up, and I'm going to put it in the microwave. That's where I keep it. It's over the stove, and it'll warm it up. And so 45 minutes from now, we're going to come back and see what it looks like. Well, I thought I was recording, and I wasn't. So I took the bread out of the oven. So let me tell you something. I looked on my oven just like I saw a dehydrate button. There's a bread proofing button too. So I used the bread proofing button, but I pulled it out and I kneaded it a little bit more. And now that it's kneaded and it's nice and smooth, like so, I'll put a little bit of my grapeseed oil in here, just a little, and then moving it around the side. I'm just using the same bowl I've been using. So here's some yeast in here, and then I'm gonna put that in there, and put it in like that, and now it goes back in the proofing oven for about another hour. And so basically we let this rise twice, which is different from what we've done other breads. So I'll be back after the second rising. Okay, so we've had our second rising, and this rising was so much better than the last one. Got this. So I'm going to pull it out, put it there. Okay, so now we're going to take this and pull it down. It's a little oily because of the grapeseed oil on the inside of the bowl. But I'm going to press it down, get all the air out. So we've had 2 risings in the proofing oven. I think that's so cute. You know, normally I put my bread up in the microwave, but we're not baking anything in the oven today, so this is cool. Alright, so now it's a little stiff. What I'm going to do is I'm going to roll this out. It's for it not to be super thin, but thick enough that when it rises, I have a nice, thick bun. Okay? So this is about a ½ inch. Now, there's a couple things I do. Just lay it out of the way. A couple things I do. I bought these a long time ago. These are for making English muffins. They're about the right width. Before I bought these, I'd take my tuna fish can, take the lid off, right, and made sure it was good, and I'd make that. But here lately, when I make biscuits I don't cut them out round. I cut them square. That way I don't have to keep re-rolling and re-rolling because of the space inside the, when you cut it out. But I'm going to cut this like this. This is right on the edge. I'm going to cut this like this because I'm going to make myself a bacon, egg, and cheese muffin. Okay, that didn't cut it very well. Put it on the other side. Okay, so here I have it. And it's pretty thick, so it's going to be a pretty thick one. We'll put it on this tray. Now this tray has semolina flour in it. You can use cornmeal. I had the semolina, so I did that. I'm going to take one of these, and I'm going to make one of these. Okay. So you can see the different sizes. Okay, so here's another one. I'll put that there. But what I'm going to do now is do what I've been doing for a while now with my biscuits. And I'm going to make this a little thinner. Because it's going to rise a bit as I let it sit in proof again. Alright, well, this isn't quite square like I'd like to do it, but now these are usually this wide, right? Big. I'm going to take and I'm going to cut this right down the middle. This is a little thinner than the other one. Alright, so this. Right. So that's that one. And we're going to see how these turn out. What that is. Alright, so I'm going to cut one here. That's about the same width as the other one. And I'm going to do, I think the last one's going to be a little smaller because I don't eat much. And by the way, the ones that I'm not going to eat in the next couple of days, I am going to put in the freezer. Let's see. So we're going to do, this one looks like a piece of pie. So one thing is for sure, people in your family, or people that see this, will know that these were definitely homemade English muffins that were a different shape and different size. Well, this is almost like re-rolling them out. But I'm making them small because I don't eat that much. And you say, well, what if you want to make another bacon, egg, and cheese? No problem. These will still be good. Alright. So here we go. These are about the same size as this. These are a little smaller. This is probably going to be close to that. But we're going to let them sit. I bought some nice tea towels from IKEA. This one I gave a bunch to some ladies I had over for dinner, and I did an inscription that says, I enjoy a glass of wine now and then, especially the now part. Alright, so we're going to let these sit for 30 minutes. Let them rise a little bit more, and then we're going to cook them. So these have been sitting, and like I said, I turned the oven off, so the oven is still warm. But look at that. They, they, they rose quite a bit. Put it up here so you can see. So these are going to be pretty thick. Now, I didn't really need one this big. This is the small one from the can, right? From the tuna can. So it's a nice size. This is from the actual mold for the muffin. Okay. Now, I'm going to use the one for making my muffin. So I want to be careful because I don't want to deflate them. Okay. So I'm just going to put in the pan. And so it looks like I may be able to get 4 of these, maybe not, 3 of these in this pan. If they were all the smaller ones, then I probably would be able to get more. But what I'm going to do is leave these there, and what I want is for them to get brown on the bottom. So this is on number 2 for and my number 2 could be really, really hot. So we're just going to let them go, and then I'll come back after they've browned after about 5 minutes, and then we're going to turn them over. Okay. Well, again, didn't put the video on, but I've got the first batch cooked, and back here on the back burner, and that one is gotten really large. I'm going to put a little bit of oil in the bottom, because the one thing, you know, you've got to know what your burners are like. This was on number 2, and before I knew it, it was toasting and kind of burning the bottom of my rolls. So let's do this one. Yeah, this time I could get 4 in there. But yeah, this isn't your normal look when you're looking at making your rolls, but this is it. That phone call was another real estate agent asking me if I want to sell my house. I am so tired of getting letters and postcards and stuff in the mail asking me if I want to sell my property. It's like, no, this is my retirement home. I'm not, you know. And on top of that, you know, have any of you seen housing prices? The price of housing has just, I mean, if I was still working, yes, I could afford the house I'm in now with the new pricing. But even then, when I was looking for a house, I made sure that my mortgage would be enough that when I went on Social Security, I could afford to pay my mortgage. So many people have to keep working because they got a mortgage. And then not only that, but the mortgage is high, but then your taxes are high. And you don't want that issue in Texas. So this is nice brown color. All right. So the fire is not even on right now. It's because this is an electric range. It maintains its heat for a while. So this is my roll. But what I'm going to do, because of the way they cooked really quick, I'm going to put them in the oven. And I've seen this on another show. I'm going to put this in the oven at 325 and let them cook. Well, the oven's not going to be at 325, but I'm going to let them cook for a little bit to make sure the inside is cooked. All right, I've got my last batch here. The other ones have been sitting in the oven. Take this. Here. Okay. And then, that's all you do. I have my bacon grease. All right. So, for my English muffin, let's see what it did. So, taking a fork, that's the way you're supposed to open up an English muffin. Just stick a fork in all the way around, and then you open it up, and look at that. Look at that. Isn't it nice? Now, it may not have all the big holes on it like the traditional English muffins you see in the store, but this is made a little different. So what my plan is, okay, we got a shadow here. What my plan is to do these again and use a different English muffin recipe. But right now, I'm sticking it in the oven to toast. Right? And I have a little egg thing. Bought these years ago too, when I first was trying to make my egg. But now, the only thing about it is that it does not keep the egg in it. The egg comes out. But I'm going to do this a little slowly. See if it will stay. Nope, not quite. Oops. Not quite in the middle. And then reach across. I have American cheese. I've got one piece. So while the egg is cooking, so we've got all these different shapes. These two shapes basically are your traditional shapes for your English muffin. This is me, you know, if I'd done it in a perfect square or oblong, I could have perfect squares. This was on a curve, but for me, these are perfect because I don't need that much, and these will be perfect. Look at that egg, it's cooking really nicely. Now, the problem is, let's see, there we go. Just like Eggman muffin. Huh? I have two of those, but I don't know where the other one is right now. Now, I'm trying to debate whether I want the yolk to stay or whether I want to break the yolk. Now, in a standard egg McMuffin, it's like a scrambled egg, or the yolk is cooked. And I'm running my mouth and just about forgot I was toasting my muffin. So the muffin is done. Almost burned it, but it's good. Okay, I'm gonna put my piece of cheese. Well, piece of cheese. Come on, cheese. Come on up. Put my piece of cheese on here. I'm going to take some bacon. Well, I'll do it a little differently, but here's some bacon and my egg. Yeah, I think I can let the yolk cook a little bit. That's a perfect circle, isn't it? Alright, so here it is. It's 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and I am getting my bacon, egg, and cheese muffin. And if you like this video, and see the fact that, you know, when you're cooking, you don't have to make things perfect. You don't have to make them look like they were in the store, right? You can still enjoy your muffins, even if they don't look like this, and even if you burnt the bottom a little bit, right? Like this one is perfect. This one is perfect, right? So, this is Beverly Fells Jones, the Silver Fox of Consciousness. If you have subscribed, thank you for subscribing. If you haven't subscribed, please take the time and subscribe and hit the bell. Didn't that look good? And hit the bell. And share the video. If you know somebody who is so much of a perfectionist, they think that you have to make your English muffins look like English muffins at the store. You don't. You can make them smaller so that if you're a person that doesn't eat a lot, you're good. Also, I'm going to vacuum seal these in some individual bags so that I'm going to put them in the freezer. But this one is mine. I made it my business to taste the bread, and the bread is perfect. Absolutely perfect. So, as you have believed, let it be done to you, and it is so. And I'll see you in the next video.